Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome back to my channel. This is my first live video ever. Guide me through, advise me on what to do, and I'm here to teach and also to learn. Today, guys, we have a very exciting topic to talk about, which is about education, especially within the African community in Africa and also here in the diaspora. If you are watching, let me know if you've logged in. Please put the thumbs up so I can know if anyone is watching. As I said, it's my first live video. I'm still learning. I can see there's someone logged in already. Put your thumbs up if you can hear me, please. If you can hear me, put your thumb up, just so I know anyone can hear me. Can anyone hear me? If you can see me or hear me, just put the thumbs up, press the like button or put your thumb up, or say hello so I can know you can hear me. Well, I can see Brandy Nash, so I assume she can hear me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate for letting me know you can hear me, so I understand someone can hear me. That's great. As we wait for more the participant or part of our families to log in, we are going to say a massive congratulations to every child who wrote the exams this year. We know, especially in Cameroon, where we come from, the GCE results were out. We understood that a lot of students did extremely well in the O levels and in the advanced level. We have a special request from the youth of CYF Bamenda Northwest region today to broadcast this video to encourage them and also to encourage all the youth in our community who have written the exams and they are now looking forward to the next chapter. Being it those who have written their O levels and then they're looking forward to go to high school, or those who have written their A levels and they're looking forward to go to university. Even those who have finished tertiary education or have completed university and are now falling into the job market. This is why we are here. This is what we are here for. We're here to discuss things, possibilities, anything that they can do that would benefit them in the future. Just to know if someone is there or if anyone can hear me, again, please just put your thumbs up if you're just logging in. If you can also let me know where you're clicking in from, I will really appreciate. If you let me know which country you are clicking in from, I will also appreciate. This is a very interactive platform. We started this YouTube channel about a month or 2 months ago. We are already up to 750 plus subscribers. The community has been highly welcome and we've received some love and support from everyone. If you've seen us for the first time, please also like, share this stream so that everyone can also participate and may get 1 or 2 information there that can support their children or support family and or friends for anything that they will be doing going forward or maybe doing with their life in the future. Thanks. I can see some thumbs up. If you let me know which part of the world you are clicking in from, I will really appreciate if you can let me know where you are. I will really, really appreciate that. I am just trying to adjust this camera so everyone can see me clearly. Everyone can see me clearly. If you can see me clearly or you can hear me as well, please let me know. So as I said from the beginning, no more people are clicking in. My name is Terry Forchigan, and on this platform, we inspire all youth and promote local businesses. The focus of our conversation today is on education. If you have anything at all that you want to ask us to talk about, you can drop it on the comment section. If you are just joining in, please give a shout out so we know you are also there. Let me know where you are listening from, if you can hear me clearly, just so I know we are all interacting. I understand most of our audience are within the Cameroon, which they're trying to log in. We understand that the internet might also be slow and they're trying to get online, but we are very patient. We are waiting for everyone to click in and or join us. Thanks for the thumbs up. I now understand someone can hear. So as I said, our topic of today is mainly about education, trying to see how we can support children out of classroom, apart from going to school and or passing exam. What is it that they can do to support themselves within the academic years and or within their career time and life? This is my first live video. As I said, if there's any guidelines, you should also drop it on the comment section so we know that someone can hear me, and I know that someone is interacting or trying to engage with what we are talking about. I will really appreciate that. So today, guys, all the students who have written their GCE and are now going to high school, if you have any advice to give them, please drop it on the comment section so we can all also share. But I have my own personal advice that I want to advise and encourage all the youths and the students who are passing their exams and they're going forward. But first thing I was going to say is that for those who did not pass their exams, please remember, examination is not the true test of knowledge. It doesn't mean that you are left out. There are a lot of things that people are good at, or everyone is good at. You just have to find your own niche. Look for what you are good at. Look for what is it that is best that you are best at, and try to upskill yourself on it. We have a lot of students who come out of classroom and they do extremely well, maybe just following their parents to their place of work, maybe mom being a carpenter, a motor mechanic, a bricklayer, or any other life skills that can benefit you. Follow your parents to their workshop and learn them, because what you are learning in class is just to see how you can then come back and modernize what is it that your parents are already doing without the technical know-how. Those are things that can benefit you with a lot of life skills. So if you are not doing well in school, please make sure that you do what you think you really love that can benefit you tomorrow and or support yourself and your family. For those who are doing extreme or exceeding expectations in school, congratulations to you. But I also want you to remember that classroom education, it's all about following instructions and passing exam. There is more in life than following instructions and passing exams. We've all been there. We have written exams. We have gone a long way to pass and exceed some expectation. Someone like me personally, I was an average student. I can't say I exceeded expectation, but I've also went on in life to do a few more things that I felt I was good at, regardless of the fact that I wasn't passing in the subject that I really wanted to do in school. But I went on to do the things that I really loved personally to have done. If you're joining us again, please, if you say hello, and so we know you are there, and also let me know where you are logging in from. I said, put your thumbs up again, just so I know that someone can hear me clearly. This is my first live video, as I've said from the beginning. Students finish from high school and they're looking forward to going to university. I must say congratulations to you. You're going into higher education or adult education. Some of you might be leaving home for the very first time. You have to always remember that your parents were your security, they were your guide, they were your coach, they were your mentor. They did everything they could to get you to where you are. Now you are moving out of home and going to face the world on your own. One thing I will say is that there is so much temptation out there. You meet children who come from different walks of life. Some would come with their own characters. They will come from different communities, areas that you've never been or seen or heard of before, and they have their own things they do quite opposite or differently. Please make sure you remember your roots. Always remember your roots. Be encouraged. Be patient. Learn. Remember why you are there in the first place. Inform your parents if you are struggling and there's anything that they need to support you, they could do so. Do not fall into the temptation of competition, because you will now see students who are coming from homes where they have everything or everything has been given to them in life, and you are trying to compete with them. If you try to compete with such students, trust me 100%, you cannot go far, because those students have parents who are backing them up. And some of us, we come from very poor community where there's nothing, little or nothing, apart from the faith that we have in God and we have taken to school with us. So you'll be moving out of home. Sometimes some people are very anxious. It is an experience that everyone has lived. If you want to see someone to advise you and or mentor you, make sure that this person is responsible enough to do so. You don't just want to seek for advice out there from anybody, because not everybody not, as I said in life, not all that glitter is really gold. That's something that you have to take with you when you're moving higher on the ladder of education. As our topic suggests today, guys, most parents only focus on how kids are doing, but not what they are doing. If you have children in school, please, apart from checking how did school go today, are you doing well in class? Did you pass your exam? How are your friends? What you should also focus on is knowing what is it that this child is doing that can benefit them tomorrow. We have children who they've started from primary education up to secondary, gone up to high school and completed university without knowing a single life skill. We're not saying that every child is the same. Some children might come from background where their parents will give everything to them, but yet those children who their parents are giving everything to them, they should be able to also learn the life skills that their parents are using to provide for them. For those who are coming from average family like us, what they can do is make sure that they mimic what their parents are doing, but more so, their parents should actually check what is it that this child is doing in school that can benefit them tomorrow. Because as an individual, you are doing all you can to provide for those children. And don't forget that tomorrow that child will also be doing what they can to provide for their own family. So, or for the children that they would have eventually in the future. Check what your child is doing. If you feel that there are things where your child is not doing well on, instead of pushing them to do them, what they should explore with them is what is it that they're actually doing well on that you can invest on so that you can get the best out of that child. As I said before, schools, they only train us how to follow instruction. In school, they'll be teaching you things like geography, history, mathematics, English, but the first education that we get start from home. It is from home that the children will learn all the morals, the culture, the tradition, the values that they will take out to the society to become the leaders of tomorrow. It's not through classroom. Morals, tradition, culture, as I've named, is what mold every community and every country. And all this learning starts from parents at home. Here, hello guys, we've got a comment here from Mr. Jinwe. Hello Terence, good evening. My son did not make for the advanced level, but know what he keeps convincing me that he know when he will collect his results slip. It will show a pass. Collins from Cameroon. Hi, Mr. Cornelius Azinwe from Cameroon. Thank you very much for the lovely message you should drop in. I can relate on what you're saying. I've been in positions where I've not brought home my report cards. They always say, what they normally say in life is, if the news was good, that's the first thing the child is going to say. But when it is bad news, they normally would come home with their heads very heavy. But this is, hello, Sina Ayafo there. Hello, Terry. Yep, Ayafo, welcome. Know you're clicking in also from Cameroon. To Mr. Zinge and what you have said, what you should remember and what you should say to your son is, no matter what the outcome of their exam is, they should bring home their slip or their report. It doesn't matter if it is good or bad, but what you should do as a parent is to put your son down, sit down with them and explore what is it that they have done well in and what is it that they are struggling with. I can see, hi, shout out to Edith Ngola. That's my lovely friend from Canada. Thanks for clicking in, Edith. And you're very welcome to our live show. And as I said, this is a platform where we are trying to engage together, communicate together, and try to support the children who are behind us and upcoming or moving from one level in their education to another. If you have any contribution, please drop it on the comment. We will all talk about it. At the moment, I was talking about what Mr. Azinwe has dropped in about his son, about not bringing home his sleep at home. And I'm trying to say the best thing you can do is encourage the child, said to him, can you bring home your sleep? What really matter at this point in time is for us to go through to see what is it that you did well in and what is it that you are not doing well in. Whatever you're not doing well in is something that we can then talk about. If the things that you don't take interest in at school, that's good and fine. For the ones that you are doing well in, if those are things that you want to take interest in, then how is it that we can develop you in that aspect? So looking at how a child who is doing well in geography can develop platform where people can relate to in terms of tourism. So, but if you don't know what they are actually doing in, that's where the actual problem is. So what our advice is, encourage your child, speak to him on one-to-one, tell him, no matter what their results are, they should talk to you about it, they should bring them home, so you analyze it, let him tell you what is it that he wants to do in life, support him in it, because that's what his heart really bleeds out for, and you will actually see the potentials coming out of him. I was talking about a family friend here, and I've seen Funwe and Tembi, great teaching, sir. Thank you, Mr. Funwe Peter. That's one of my boys that I do mentor. I know he's also shouting in from Cameroon. You're welcome to my live video today. Always remember, guys, this is the first live YouTube that I'm recording. If there's anything that you want to talk about or anything that you think we can talk about to contribute to children's education, drop it on the comment section and I will mention it here live so we can talk about it. I really appreciate everyone who is clicked in and everyone who is watching live, and I am counting on all your support as the school term is coming to an end. This is summer. If you haven't taken a break with kids already, please try to do so if you have children. If you don't, always remember that there's time for everything, and continue to encourage yourself, be motivated. Anything that you want to achieve in life, you are going to do it. Just say to yourself, you know that you can do it and you will definitely do it. Please, to all parents who are on this platform, who the children passed the GCE, congratulations. And for those parents who their children did not pass the exam, please remember to put the children down to identify the things that they did well in and invest on them. That's what really matters in life. Examination, as I said before, is not the true test of knowledge. It is the classroom process where children follow instruction and they move forward. But the next chapter of them moving forward is probably a blank check. The next thing that we are going to discuss about at this point in time is about skills. Skills are very, very important for every child to acquire, especially when they're moving from one classroom level to another. What I can say about skills is when you are studying in school, they are going to teach you things such as, the subjects, all the subjects they teach in school, Biochem, Geo, name them all. But you have to learn how you can transfer this theory into skills. What is it that you've been learning in chemistry that you can then apply to real life scenarios? What is it you've been learning in biology that is related to animals or related to crops that you can develop skills on? From skills, the next thing we'll talk about is problem solving. Wow, a little late, but here now. Well done, bro. That's Mange before. Shout out to Ashley Doris, and I know she's logging in from Finland. You're very welcome to the YouTube channel Mange Live. I really appreciate you clicking in. I was just talking about the children learning from classrooms. We went into skills, and we're talking about problems at this point in time. If there's anything you want to contribute in terms of classroom education, skills, and problem solving, which is what we're trying to talk about now, please drop it on the comment section and I'll pick it up and we can all talk about it. If you are a student and you are going to school, the first thing you should do is look within your community to see what is it that everyone is struggling with. That's where your actual worth is. Look at what everyone is struggling with within your community and try your best to solve that problem. So let me say, for example, when we're growing up, we have a lot of parents who would walk miles and kilometers barefooted. And the simple solution for someone who wants to have a business with that community will say, okay, let me go and buy rubber shoes, which are cheaper, and sell it within this community. People are going to buy it. That's the story of barter. And that's how you become a millionaire. On another note, if you're growing up and the problem that you have within your community is fertilizers, the crops are not doing well. If crops are not doing well within your community, what you have to do in school, studying geography, is studying different types of soil and seeing which soil is best for which crop. By finding solution to that local problem, will then enable people within your community to plant the right crop in the right place, and then they will get a good harvest. For those who are science students, what they will then come in to do is, yes, these crops are doing well, but what is it that we can do to increase our output? So we can then talk about producing things like fertilizers, weed killers, and these are the kind of things we were all, Raymond watching from Cameroon. Hi, Raymond. Thanks for clicking in. You're very welcome to our live chat. We're talking about problem solving. And the other things, yes, Raymond has just clicked in, who is a classical example. Is also one of my children that I mentor back at home. He is doing electrical engineering in the university. And I've said to him, the niche for him studying electrical engineering in Cameroon at this point in time is solar energy. So instead of just focusing on how to maintain machineries or how to maintain cars, how to cable homes, what I've advised him severally to do is to focus on studying how solar plants are produced. If you are good in electrical work and you study things like solar power, we have electricity all year round in Africa, but the major problem we have is power cuts. If you find solution just to increase the kilowatts of the power on our main grid, I tell you that is going to make you a millionaire. You have communities where people are able to afford solar panels, but they are too expensive because they're all imported. If you invest or being a group of students who are studying electrical engineering, you come together to produce solar panels, you would solve not just one problem, which is the shortage of electricity in our community, but you are also producing energy that is, you're also producing clean energy, which is exactly what reduces pollution around the world. These are things that we have to look and invest in. Today, we have technical students who go to school and they study mechanical engineering. If you are a mechanical engineer student in school, what I can advise you to do is, please make sure instead of you learning how to fix cars or learning how to maintain motorbikes, you should be learning how a car tire is produced. You should be learning how the car bonnet can be formed. You should be learning how that engine can be formed. Join together with physics, chemistry students, collaborate together and see that you can even produce a windscreen of a car which comes from glass. These are things that are life skills which I've mentioned, which are then going on to solve problems. You have the idea from school, which is the classroom. You've developed the skills, and then that skill is going to solve the problem of the fact that 100% of cars in Cameroon and in most West African countries are imported. That is a massive, massive industry which is flooded by foreign investors, which is hence why the pollution rates in our countries are very high, and people end up dying of a lot of diseases. So these are things that we can do to increase efficiency and create employment as a result of them. Students should not only focus in class. Classroom education is to mold you to then think out of that scope to see what is it that you can do to improve your community. If you are a nurse or a science student, or you are a doctor, what you should be looking at is how is it we can do to produce telemedicine? How can we do to use drones? This is where the computer science students come in. How do we develop or build drones that can deliver medication to remote areas where they are not accessible by cars? These are things that, as students, we should always come together to collaborate and try to produce. If we can solve our own local problems, it is not only going to benefit us locally, but it's going to bring in investors into our community, and that is going to enable us to grow together. Please, if you are good at anything, do not keep it to yourself. Make sure that you find the potentials, find the right people that they can invest in you and enable you to grow. If you need people who can mentor you, we have platforms like this where you can always come to get inspired. We are also here to mentor and show you the right direction, promote your business, and tell people exactly what you are doing so that people can contact you and they are going to work with you. We have a lot of people around the country who are looking for good technicians, good the engineers. They're looking for just someone who can do something very simple for them, but they cannot find them. This is a platform where you can always come to get information from. And if anything you are doing that you think can benefit your community, please let us know and we'll always share it on this platform. Again, our topic today is about encouraging the students who have passed their exams and they're looking forward to higher education, and they are all looking to join the labor market. Now, we're talking about the labor market. Recently, I have a lot of friends who have finished university. They've been carrying files from one junction to another, and it is extremely difficult for them. People are going around looking for jobs. We know very well that there is no country in the world that the government can employ all the citizens, but we still expect that. They should do better everywhere. But in our own part of the country at this point in time, we are at the position where we need more entrepreneurs to build our economy. Every place in our country, it's a problem and people are complaining. But those are opportunities. anything you listen to anyone and they are complaining about is what you should focus on and trying to find solution for it. If someone complains to you, for example, that they have drivers, and these drivers, or they have taxi drivers, and the taxi drivers, or they say they have 10 taxis or 5 taxis, for example, and they're giving the taxis to the taxi drivers. Every day the taxi driver is telling them that the car is broken and the car is not working, they're not doing anything at all, and they're not bringing back any money. That is the problem. Almost everyone will be facing it. It doesn't matter if they've owned one taxi or they own one bike, which is on the motorway, trying to bring in $1,000 or $1 or $2 or £2 or 1,000 CFR or 2,000 CFR for them to feed their family. They must have worked hard, placed some contributions or meetings, and they've tried to raise this money to buy this taxi or bike in the first place. What you should do is listen to the people who are complaining that the drivers are not bringing money to them. This is a massive opportunity for you. If you can develop an app which would enable them to put a tracker on their taxi or bikes, this is not also only going to solve the problem of saying these bikes are not working, but someone cannot say your bike has been stolen because the tracker will tell you exactly where the bike is. If the bike is broken, you don't even need to ask the driver, where are you? You can see it on that application that this is exactly where your bike is, or this is where your taxi is standing, and you can take another means of transport to get there to see them. If you see that your car or your bike has been standing in the same position for too long without any communication from the driver, you can actually go there yourself to check what is it they're doing there. That is a massive business opportunity which is within our continent. I will give you a classical example of the same thing that I'm talking about. We have I have a message here from Mr. Zinu again, says talking about transforming theory to skill in mathematics. We keep looking for an read of going straight to the point. I think there are something that the West is still hiding from us Africans. Funny enough, Mr. Azinwe, I was before I came on the show, I try to read a lot sometimes, and I was reading an article that someone said, if you have a system of education that has been introduced to you by someone else, wage a war. What we have as a system of education, since we're talking about education here in our country or within our community, is a system that was introduced to us, either we refer to as the Francophone system of education, or we refer to as the English system of education. Francophone system of education clearly means that that system is coming from France, and the English system of education would then means it's coming from England. But what we have failed to understand is that this country changed their education system day after day. But what we gained independence with, which was written down as we call them our own curriculums, we have been respecting them for decades. It's time for us all as the youth to sit back and say, this education system is not working for us if it is not. We have a lot of children who go to school and they do not come back with anything practical or pragmatic. Here in the West, I am in the UK, life here in the UK. What I want to say about the education system is I have a 6-year-old son who is at home at this present time, and they are able not just to read and write, but they'll be able to tell me what grades of books or what grade that he is when it comes to reading different books now. And if you offered him books that are below that grade, he's going to tell you this is no longer the grades of the books that they have to be reading. So what he's trying to say in essence is what was being taught last term is no longer needed now. This is what they're supposed to be doing going forward. I'm not saying that we are repeating curriculums back home, but what I'm trying to say in essence is that these curriculums is what we've been repeating year after year. I remember when I was in school and the 5-10 years ahead of me, a student must have been reading The White Man of God, The Crown of Thorns. We even read Shakespeare. We read a lot of things that they were not relevant to us. I remember when I came to the UK, I was working in a factory with this Italian man. And because I did history, world history, and I saw an Italian man, I was very excited. So I said to him, oh, you must really know Giuseppe Garibaldi. I was talking about Count Camillo Cavour, and he was asking me, who are these people I'm talking about? I will be very, very honest with you. I felt furious and disappointed. Not to him for not knowing, but why was I taught about architects of Italian unification? These were all architects of Italian unification that I was naming, and I saw an Italian man. I was being excited, trying to talk about his own country history, thinking he would tell me a bit more. But unfortunately for me, he was telling me he doesn't know who these people are. And when I said, but it's their history, he said to me, he's not a historian, it's not important. So he has focus in learning the things that matter in life for him, which is the same thing I was trying to say to Mr. Azinwe before. If your son is not good at some particular subject, let him focus on the things he's good at. If he is good at technical work, please encourage him to learn the technical work while trying to learn the basic in education to support his experience. That's one thing that I am going to say as an advice to every parent that their child is climbing up the ladder of education. Remember that the education system we have in our country, it was imported, it was not created by us. And when I started talking about problems, I was going to go into things like industrial revolution. Industrial revolution is a big one. It's a very massive topic. That's something that we need to also look at. Instead of children trying to maintain things or try to learn how to use things, what they should be learning is how to produce them, not how to use them. How to use them, yes, even if you pick a child who is coming from birth and not gone through any mainstream education, come up to whatever level and you give them a car, they are going to drive it. Let's be honest to ourselves. Everyone can relate with me. When we were growing up, we believed that people who are driving taxis, people who are doing hairdressing, people who are doing tailoring, were people who were not good at school and they can't really do well in anything. That's why they were sent to this position. But no, that's not true. Now, we've had a lot of students who've completed university and they've realized that where opportunities actually lies is where the people that they perceive as their classmates who were not doing well from primary education went to. But the reason why their classmates, probably didn't build that industry as quick as possible was because they didn't have that much exposure that you do. If you are a student finishing university and looking at the job market, I would tell you, fashion and design is a multi-trillion industry in Africa today. We used to see what we so-called the white wedding, and people used to copy them and wear the wear tie, they wear the white gown, and they dance on the altar. We know we've made it. No, fashion is changing. Why? Why is fashion changing? This is one thing we have to talk about. This is why is fashion changing. We had our fellow classmates who we perceived that they were not doing well in school and they went to do the tailoring. That's fine. It was putting food on their table. They were feeding their family. But they didn't have the know-how to research on how fashion changes with time. Now we have university graduates who've now fall back to this industry with the coming of the social media, movie, and television. They are more exposed. They are able to do research and see what is it that is the latest trending of fashion around the world, and they try to also mold it and build on it. As a result of this, more people have embraced the fashion industry and start wearing what we saw. Talking about I'm looking at the extreme, going straight to the point. Mr. Cameroon. So I was talking about the fashion industry and how it has been extremely developed. It has been extremely developed by most people today because we now have people who are also investing on that industry and making it great again. I must say, I came home a bit late and I didn't charge my phone. I'm trying to charge this phone again. If anyone can hear me, please give me a thumb up, or you take the thumb up and back on, just so I know you can hear me. If I don't put this phone back on charge, it's going to go off in a second. This is an hour live stream. We still have about 16 minutes to go, and I'm glad and happy and very thankful for everyone who've joined in so far. If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can hear me, please let me know. I've put the phone back on charge at the moment, so it should be much better again. We were talking about education and things to do after university. If you have learned enough from school, please, what you should do is also to learn how to apply that knowledge. There are a lot of things that you can do from finishing university. Look at the problems that you have within your community and do your best to invest your time on them. By solving a single problem within that community is going to give you the gift of a gap, because those are situations that they are real and people are trying to find solutions for them. I can hear you, Edith Mola. Thank you very much, Edith from Canada. Thanks for confirming that you can hear me. I really appreciate it. I had to take out the microphone connection and put in the charger because this phone battery was running low. So I'm glad to hear you can still hear me. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So please, if you have any family at home who are looking forward to what they can do in life, if you have any advice ever that you can give them, please share on the comment section here so that they can also see that. Also speak to them, encourage them, tell them that finding solution to problems is always the way forward. It is not all about combining files to find a job. I know very well that in our country, especially Cameroon today, where we come from, or where I come from, and a shout out to everyone who is not Cameroonian, who is also watching us live. You might relate with your own country and where you're coming from, share your experience with us. We know very well in the Cameroon that every child can buy files, or what we refer to as dossier, every year and year after year, trying to get a matrical number to work for the government. It's good and fine. We respect everyone who is working for the government. We respect everyone who is also working for themselves. But what we're also trying to encourage on this platform is to encourage more entrepreneurs to create more opportunities in our communities. I will say, if you have studied anything whatsoever, please try to see how this can be converted into a practical skill and how you can use this skill to empower and find solution to problems in your community. I remember a friend who spoke to me about silos. Silos are these equipment used by, it's not really an equipment, it's like a storage, which is used by marketing bots to store all sort of grains. So these grains can last in the silos for 10 to 20 years and they wouldn't go bad. If you are a science student and you think that you are doing well and being creative, what you should do is try to collaborate with technical students and think about how you can produce such things to add value to the products that we produce in our country. We have a lot of perishable goods that we produce in our country that they all go into waste. If you can invest your time, our system of education back here in Cameroon is too poor, even right up to the university level, especially when it comes to the practical level. You realize that we have more theory and less practical. That's a comment from Mr. Zinue. Thank you very much, Mr. Zinue. You are speaking from experience from Cameroon, which is definitely great. I feel that the system of education in most African countries should not even exist in the first place. That's my thought about them. I can't say I will condemn them altogether, but what I'm trying to say is that if we are teaching children theory in class, we should also try to create a practical environment where they can put their hands on. We have a lot of technical school children who only knew that a recycling machine exists by drawing it, or they see it from a book, because we don't have a single recycling plant in our country. So these are the things that we are trying to talk about on this platform to encourage any young African or a young Cameroonian who feel that they have these entrepreneurial skills to try to find solution to the mainstream problems that we have, that maybe even if the government is not looking at them. When you start finding solution to these problems and they're working very well, trust me, you then have an upper hand to then lobby with the government to include what you have invented as part of the curriculum. And that is how things change. We can become the change that we need tomorrow by actually doing the little that we can to improve our situation. I did mention about solar panels. Those are things that we should be teaching in the university and trying to do practical, linking up with technical universities to see that students can bring panels together, bring glasses together and try to produce a solar power instead of trying to learn how to install solar power imported from different countries. We also talk about how we can produce even a simple boat or a ship that can transport things in our own waters. We have to be talking about how we can produce a simple bike, a motorbike. Well, not motorbike, even to a bicycle. At this point in time in Cameroon, we all import second-hand bicycle. Are we trying to say the students we've sent to technical school with all the metal, the rods that we have in Africa today, we cannot produce bicycle? So if we try to think that these are things we can do for ourselves and invest in doing them, then we are now setting a platform for a different kind of education for our future generation, where children would know that instead of just going to class and learning a subject, they will also want to go to places where they learn skills, where they can produce practical things. I was saying to a friend that one of the best things that can ever happen is us have here Mr. Zinwe. But one of the thing as youth or a student is you identify the potential you have within you, or you identify the problem that the society face now nowadays and see how it can be solved. Right. This is from Ajua Raymond. Raymond is saying that one of the things as a youth or a student is you identify the potential you have within you, or you identify the problem that the society face nowadays and see how it can be solved. Raymond, yes, as my mentor earlier mentioned, you are definitely right, 100%, Raymond. You need to identify not just your potentials, but identify the problems that the society have and how to solve them. You might not be, the problems that the society have might not be your best subject, but succeeding in life is not about being at your best. Always remember that. As I said, classroom education is something else. And for you to succeed in life, you have to invest on the things that matter in your community. So if you are not good at all in farming, but farming problems are what is happening in your community, what you can do is to bring the people who are good at that farming. So this is called collaboration now. Bring the people who are good at that farming, build a little platform for them, and encourage them to talk their problems together and bring people who can then solve this problem for them. As an intermediary, trust me, you are still going to make some money in the process, because that platform now is yours. You have people who have the problems, they come into you telling you what their problem is, and then you find the people who can solve that problem, and you solve these problems for them. So this is the thing. Always find a niche, find exactly what is it that you can do to make a difference, and focus on it. If you are a student and going to school, if you are in high school, which is a day school, or you are in university, please ensure that you do not spend your evenings and weekends sleeping. As they say, the system of education, as Mr. Jinwe said before, the system of education back home might not be great, but we also have to do our best to ensure that we learn different life skills outside that system of education. Today, we can literally learn everything online. If you have a question or doubt about anything, drop it on Google. You will definitely have some few answers. Go to YouTube. You will definitely have some few answers. Gone are those days where students used to go to the library or look for the library and try to get a means to get into the library just to pick up a book. I'm not saying that picking up a book to read is not good. It's beautiful. But also, you now have the University of Oxford, the University of Cambridge, the University of Boya, the University of Yaoundé, the University of Accra. You have the University of Abuja. You have the University of all the African cities and all the bigger cities in the world in your palms, in the small phone you are holding in your palms. These are things that you need to take 100% advantage of. For those who have just joined us, please let me know if you can hear me. As I said, this is going to be a 1 hour video. We are almost running short of time. I thank everyone who has clicked in this evening. This is going to remain here live, so everyone will see it when they can. I really appreciate you all for clicking in. Please subscribe to my channel. We are here to educate everyone that is interested in changing their mindset and building a better future for themselves and for their children. I remain your humble boy here from the Roots Terry Forge, and talking from my own personal experience and where I came from. We started from a very small and humble beginning. I will encourage everyone to remain very humble. I will encourage everyone to continue to be themselves. I'll encourage everyone to ensure that everything that they want to do and or invest on in life, they should put their time on it. Invest your time, and so invest your time, and you are going to sow your seeds. I really thank you all again for coming online. A big shout out to Mange Doris Atashili from Finland. A big shout out to my friend Edi Dingola from Canada. A big shout out to Mr. Azimi from Cameroon. A big shout out to Raymond from Cameroon. A big shout out to Peter Funwe from Cameroon. A big shout out to Aya for all the comments. A big shout out to Brandon Ash for dropping in as well. I really appreciate you all for coming in and sharing with us. As I did say before, we have a few doctors and a few professors who were supposed to come online with us today, but because of work schedule, they're not here to join us, so they can also bring out their own contribution. But I suppose they will share it. They will catch up on this program later and share it in the comment section. I really want to say to all the students who have passed their exams and they are going, remember that you are the leaders of tomorrow. Remember that you all are going to produce things that are going to benefit your community. Remember that anything you want to do, please add the fear of God to it. And also remember that you have parents back at home who supported you. Most importantly, that we also have to support them when we make it. If your parents is still alive, a massive applaud to them. Give them a kiss, tell them you love them for bringing you this far. And if you're a parent on this platform and your child is doing very well, a massive congratulations. And I said, if your child is not doing well, please sit down, talk with them, tell them what is it that, talk with them about what they are doing well in, and encourage them to focus on that, because this is the future we are talking about. There's no time for us to go backward. Thanks, a massive thanks again for joining in today. And I hope that everyone could hear me, and I hope that this went well. It was my first live video, as I said, and I decided to speak from the heart and without no script. The message from Mange, from Doris Atashili. Thank you, bro. There is a lot of information here that's going to help orientate a lot of these students as they consider their future career pathway. That's a message from Atashili Doris. She was one of our finest from GBHS Bamendankwe to the University of Boya and studying medicines. And Doris, if you have anything that you want to ask as a question, she is in Finland, and she's also studying in the medical field. If there's anything you want to learn and or know, you can always drop a question on the comment section and she'll answer for you. We thank you very much for the words of encouragement to the students, yes, and thank you for joining us on the platform. I suppose that everything that we have talked about here and everything that the students have learned, oriented, yep, they can be oriented, yep. She's more than, thank you very much, Mange. Before, this is why we have a lot of educated people on this platform, so they can support us on our live show. She can orient or orient everyone who needs any support whatsoever. I really appreciate you, Mange, for coming on as well. And I appreciate everyone who's been here. I know I've shown my appreciation more than 1 million times now. But as I said, it was an hour video. I just feel like I'm sitting in this room with all of you. Thank you again very much. And we'll speak again soon when I come on another show, and or maybe when I drop the videos that I will record in the future. Thank you again very much for joining in, and until next time, then we'll see you again. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye everyone. Bye bye.